first things first, Phantom Blade Zero went on and delivered another rad new gameplay trailer. The Summer Game Festival was a blast this past 24 hours, and Phantom Blade Zero somehow managed to again be the crown jewel of another show. There's also a demo on the way for it too. The game of talking over here, for those of you new, is one of the most fast-paced and gory games we've seen for the past 12 months. This is a Souls-like action-adventure and a developer's first work, coming to pieces in PlayStation 5 sometime next year.
Fucker's hanging from the last cherry tree.
What do you mean the last? Like, last?
I have an idea.
Lose yourself in a world of 2329 in New York, when Nobody Wants to Die releases this holiday on PCs and last-gen consoles. Developers announced and came up with even more gameplay on their AAA action game. Nobody Wants to Die, which we actually came across first over a year ago, is a narrative-heavy adventure game made with the use of Unreal Engine 5, where immortality has a price too. This is how it looks now.
You would define the future.
All are architects of fate.
Firaxis Games and 2K officially came out and announced a release window of mid-2025 on their new Sid Meier's Civilization 7 game, coming to PCs, Switch, and actually both generation of consoles, and a full gameplay showcasing coming out this August. Now, all we know right now is the team said they're aiming to make another hit 4X strategy game and a Steam wishlist that's available as of today. Check it out.
Hereafter, each of us shall endure this world's life until the end.
Your names shall not be lost.
So it shall be.
So it shall be.
Moving on to number 4, we have George Lucas's Star Wars AAA game, The Outlaws. Previously rumored to be coming out in 2025, is now actually set to come out on August 30, 2024 into PCs, Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 only. Now, Outlaws goes on a whole different direction compared to previous iterations of the franchise in both scale, story, and now even action. You might also want to know it's a Ubisoft, Lucasfilm, and also Disney work together.
I'm gonna hide this tape when I'm finished. If none of us make it, at least there'll be some kind of a record. The storm's been hitting us pretty hard now for 48 hours.
Remember The Thing? Not the horror movie though, the video game that followed on the film story about 20 years later. Whether you know it or not, it was one hell of a horror third-person shooter, and we had a blast with it originally, even though it was pretty clunky. Now, the good news is that the same team who remastered System Shock and Dark Forces Star Wars is handling the remastered version of this one and aiming to bring it to PCs and last-gen consoles soon. This is how it looks. Moving on to number 6, we have Slitterhead, coming from the same creator of the old and first Silent Hill game on the PlayStation 1. You see, Slitterhead stands as a unique and standalone original IP. I believe the last time we actually mentioned it was a year ago. To this very day, the aim with the game is to create the most fearful situation in the game in history, as developers put it, whatever that even means. This game is now due out November 8th this year, and developers actually came up with another trailer. Black Myth: Wukong is one of the oldest games in the list, and we've been holding our breath for so long. Now, developers announced a August 20th, 2024 release for it. A month ago, it's set to be coming to PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X only. For those of you who missed it, this is a action RPG single-player Souls-like set in a deep Chinese mythological world taken from the Monkey King's tale. And Black Myth is made with the use of Unreal Engine 5, and developers just came up with another gameplay trailer for it to enjoy. Previously teased as Budokai Tenkaichi at number 8, properly titled now to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Y'all keen to this side of the franchise are probably aware. It's been almost 15 years since the previous iterations of Budokai Tenkaichis, and it's super hyped at the moment. Bandai has promised to deliver a evolved Dragon Ball Z experience using Unreal Engine 5, and despite the name Zero, it actually will not be a prequel. This is coming out on October 11, and this is how it looks.
Goku, wait! What? Never forgive me for this! Now you will suffer my wrath! You are a prison boy! I will show you the true form of autonomous ultra. It's my turn, yes! Change everything, then! This is nothing! I will defeat you! Don't think you can win! There's no way to beat this!
Time to set sail!
If you didn't know, we haven't had a new Fatal Fury fighting game in about 25 years. Last month, SNK dropped the news with a gameplay trailer that Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is launching in early 2025 and platformers were just announced today. It's coming to PCs, PlayStation 4 and 5 and also Xbox Series X as well. Other than that, we know there's a new character that's just added to the bunch. Maybe there's going to be more DLCs alongside an all-new Rift system, the arcade style and also smart style as well.
I do. Your progress is impressive lately, Aruna.
These are incredible.
Unknown 9 Awakening has been delayed to fall 2024. The good news is that the game will now be available on PCs and both generation of consoles this fall. Now, Unknown 9, if you missed it, is a single-player narrative-driven game that sees players as a young woman with the ability to jump into different dimensions or realities known as folds. If you missed it, developers actually just came up with more of in-game footage too. This is how it looks.
Why are you so interested in Vincent, anyhow?
He killed someone I loved.
Remember stepping. Find your target and bridge the gap.
You don't belong here.
You're wrong. This is exactly where I'm meant to be.
There's a new darkness overtaking Gotham.
If you missed out on its initial reveal last month through the VR Games event, the Batman Arkham Shadow was actually a real thing all along since the rumors last year. The game is now scheduled to come out exclusively on MetaQuest 3 late 2024 and we got another trailer for it too. Arkham Shadow is the second time the Batman Arkham series has gotten a VR treatment. More details about the game just came out with through the Summer Game Festival just the same.
Rat King will stop at nothing to destroy my city. How far will I go to destroy him?
Only these past 2 days.
Then there is much to learn.
Focus Entertainment's latest game, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, also went gold, and it's now coming after 12 years since the previous iteration and scheduled to come out on September 9 this year into PCs and last generation of consoles. Now, Space Marine 2 will let you this time play the role of Lieutenant Titus himself as he actually fights aliens in the name of humanity, the Imperium. This game is a third-person shooter, hack and slasher, and an adventure. By the way, here's a new trailer. No More Room in Hell 2 releases in early access this October. Developers announced they released another trailer for it and reconfirmation that the game is a PC exclusive as it was announced before. No More Room in Hell 2 is a 8-player co-op zombie smasher. It's been in the works for over 3 years, or at least as far as I'm concerned, and it has to be the most off-the-radar hidden gems in the video gaming industry right now. Here's a question. How many of you have already played the game called Descent? Well, the mountain climbing indie game, pretty accurate, cute looking too. Anyway, there's another mountain climbing game in the making too here, and it's actually a little like Death Stranding too. Something over here probably called Cairn. I don't know. It's a survival game, so to speak, that actually comes with a pretty interesting twist too. We're not going to talk about that. It's coming to PCs exclusively and set to be coming out sometime next year.
Magnificent, huge canyons. And this is you, a tiny piece of meat.
Coming to PCs only early to mid next year. We've got over here something called Canyons. Supposedly it's developer's first work. Canyons is actually a post-apocalyptic zombie survival, Mad Max? I honestly don't even know, but the trailer over here is a guess, if you care to watch. I think it's a little like Road of the Dead, maybe, like you can upgrade your vehicles and just blast through zombies harder as you go with each run. Take a look.
Damn. Still not sufficient. There it is. Huge crawlers. Only they will allow you to survive in the canyons. Looks like we'll have to find a bigger crawler.
Several weeks ago, Station Number 2 and Station Number 1 became the sources of uncontrollable bursts of energy. There was a malfunction on Station Number 2 as a result of a reactor explosion on Station Number 1.
I have actually said this one last week when we got the updates. Still, if you missed it, 3 years ago, we came across a Stalker-inspired first-person shooter coming from an indie developer called Pioner. It's a cinematic and a very short gameplay trailer. I mean, it was until today. We got a new trailer for it. If you will know about it from before, the game is now coming to PCs exclusively and due out early to mid next year. This is actually a MMORPG game in nature.
The good old radar, baby. It's not a bad detector at first, but it can be inaccurate if there is more than one anomaly nearby. Basically, once you get enough hexes, I recommend you buy a better one.
Rumor has it that when the first tide came, the rogue wastelands were altered by something similar to a huge laser ray.
To put it simply, artifacts are bundles of energy. Artifacts are extremely rare, and their activation in the wrong hands can lead to disastrous consequences.
We need to utilize terrain for stealth insertion. Execute swiftly and silently.
We're in position.
Although we do not have an official release date for it just yet, Delta Force Hawk Ops is coming out no later than mid-2025. A few days ago, Team Studios came out with its first official in-game trailer, reassuring that it'll be a free-to-play game too, across PCs and consoles, even mobiles. This is a tactical multiplayer game, so to speak, where you get to choose your operator as they take on various missions with different tactics.
They're coming up! All clear. Prepare for decoding.
That's all for mission briefing. The drill is over. Operation commences. Good luck.
Perhaps humans were fated to build the monoliths, reaching heaven and returning with a gift.
NetEase went on and revealed even more, another teaser gameplay for the game Once Human. They actually even came up with a release date of July 9, 2024 on PCs exclusively, and possibly mobiles as well, we're not sure. The game, if you're unfamiliar with since a couple of years ago, is an open-world survival third-person shooter, which is a tad inspired by the TV show The Stranger Things, kinda takes place in a lab, and it's actually made with the use of Unreal Engine 5. There is also another beta taking place this June.
The smallest creatures show the greatest resilience. Wherever we remain standing, we stand together.
We've actually mentioned this one just the other week, but if you missed it too, Capcom's AAA project Path of the Godless is officially arriving this year, not only with a new trailer for it, but the word that it's a PC to a both generation supporting game, excluding Switch. Kunitsu-Gami is a single-player action RPG in which you must protect this maiden with divine powers as she travels to cleanse villages of evil. It's a blend of Japanese myth, kind of like Ghost of Tsushima. There's a little Pac-Man elements, so basically it's a strategy game in nature too. Lifeline Games developers, they came up with a release window of late 2024 for PCs on their upcoming action-adventure game Deer and Boy. Although we have totally missed out on its announcement earlier, Deer and Boy is one of the finest cinematic platformers we have on the way. It's about a boy escaping his own reality with the help of an animal friend, which happens to be a deer. This is how it looks.
Deep within us. The reality is, we oppress, we fight.
That's right. Metaphor ReFantazio is officially coming to PCs now, in addition to PlayStation 4, 5, and also Xbox Series X October 11. This announcement was also made pretty recently through a new trailer. That being said, if you are new to the Metaphor game here, it's a fantasy RPG that's being directed by the same team who did all the Persona games, 3, 4, even 5. This is actually the sequel of a very well-received game from almost a decade ago.
Remind people that the same powers lie dormant within them. On guard! You must acquire more archetypes and bring them together.
How's this? Scour! No holding back!
Now you've acquired a most interesting power, an archetype whose existence was only theoretical. You wield power now. Yeah!
Delusion taken form walks into my great hall.
Enotria, the last song, also got itself a new trailer, a release date of September 19, 2024, and that is across PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X as well. Now, for those of you new over here who have missed it, it's a single-player Souls-like action RPG inspired by the Italian folklore. Developers just came up with both the cinematic trailer and more of in-game footage with finished gameplay.
On guard! your greatest final chapter.
Another collection of tests we'd like you to participate in.
We've got over here probably one of my favorite games announced at the Summer Game Festival just now, in case you missed it. Here's a sequel to the almost a decade-old puzzle first-person comedy game, a little bit in the same style of Portals, but honestly not even remotely as fine in quality. ChromaGun 2 Die Hard. It's another color-based puzzle shooter that's incorporated the cutting-edge technology this time, new comedy elements, and smarter puzzles. This game is coming to PCs sometime next year.
Forgotten. Ancient, tyrannical manifestations of nature itself held the world stagnant.
Quick mention over here at number 24, we have Witch of Oblivion. This is actually a Souls-like action RPG set in this enchanting open world in which you play as a sorceress on a mission to reshape the environment. It's a pretty good looking game, I think. It seems to be the developer's first work, and it's definitely inspired a little by Monster Hunters and Zelda. This game is coming to PCs by the end of the year, we hear.
Feared by all, her destructive fire magics left naught but ash and cinders in her wake. Plagued by sleep.
After the week we had, we deserve a little rest.
And last but not least, we've got Skopje 83, or maybe just Scope 83. It's a brand new IP from the famous publishers PM Studios. I don't think you really have to take a wild guess here. As you can see, it's a comic book style first-person shooter with roguelite elements and an open world gameplay. Pretty ambitious to think of coming up with a Borderlands design, but not quite there. In this game you fight, loot mutated abominations, gather resources, and enhance weapons with blueprints. Scope 83 is a PC exclusive coming out sometime next year.
And you know what they say, everything is more exciting with friends.